Yes, y'all, you know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 375 up in here. You know who it is. It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we're talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much. I'm stuck in a conundrum, y'all.
Uh-oh. What's the matter?
Man, I'm feeling Christmassy.
Nah, man.
But Thanksgiving doesn't start till real late this year.
Don't fall victim.
Oh, shoot. Jenny's already talking about putting lights up and the tree.
Yep.
And they're
You can
starting
talk
to
about it.
Put your fingers like in the cross motion and say, "Get back, the devil." Not her, but
Woo,
you know.
it's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's tough on you boys.
The
Tough.
spirit.
It's
Get
tough.
thee behind me, Santa.
Yes.
Nice, Ed.
Because we know that really means Satan.
Exactly.
I think the thing is like doing all that work to not even have a month of it being up is the thing that's hard. Oh,
And
man.
then, so here's what you say. You're like, yeah, babe, I'll totally put that up. And then it's just staying. Year round.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth, Chris.
That's awesome.
That's what I tell Stacy. We don't have lights on the house, never have had lights on the house. And she's like, well, let's put up lights. I'm like, we can put them up. They ain't never coming down.
Yeah, they're only doing this once. Yeah,
Yep.
that's funny.
That's
Oh, man. Chris McCracken,
Yes.
what's going down with you, man?
All right. Even though I do sound better,
You do
I
sound
am
much
still-
better.
Yeah.
I'm still not in a good spot.
Oh, no.
man.
Honestly, I think the reason that my voice has recovered a bit is because I've just not been talking a lot.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we'll see if it all goes downhill after this week's podcast because I'll be talking a whole bunch. It's getting to the point where it's like, doggone it, it's probably going to get to where I need to go see, maybe not to a doctor, but like at least to a minute clinic or one of those like little clinic kind of things or something, because it's just whatever I have is just will not shake. I mean, most of the time it's okay. I mean, of course, I'm just taking the Dayquil all day long and throat lozenges and whatnot, but it's just, I wake up in the morning and just my chest is heavy. I'm like, and I'm like hacking up stuff and it's just not, yeah. So usually it's gone by now. Within a week, I'm all right. But the fact that it's kind of lingering around makes me think, all right, I might need to go get some antibiotic or something else going on here because clearly the over-counter stuff is having to cry mercy because it's not working.
Yeah.
Or it's working enough, but not enough to get rid of it.
That
So
sucks.
we will see. But outside of that, I can't really complain. I mean, if that's the worst of things going on, then I'm really not that bad off. So, you know, is what it is.
It's still annoying.
It definitely is annoying. In fact, sorry for the editor this week because there'll be a lot of hacking and coughing and stuff that you'll be cutting out of the show.
It's okay.
This past weekend, I did have a photo shoot on Saturday. We did with my partner. We did a little family photo shoot in the park down the way over here, which is a lot of fun. Haven't had like a proper family photo shoot in a while. I forget how much fun that they can be, especially when the family's into it and that kinds of things.
Right.
So that was really cool. And then had a consultation that evening for yet another one coming
Nice,
a couple
man.
months from now.
Look at
So
you.
feeling good, getting some side hustle going and things going on. So that's nice. On Sunday, we met up with my stepmother because it was her birthday this past week. So I wanted to have lunch with her and just spend some good time with her. And
Happy
make sure
birthday,
that she was-
stepmom.
Yes, happy birthday to my stepmother, Susie.
Happy birthday, step bread fan.
Yes. Oh, you know what? That's a good name.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, sweet.
Step bread fan. Done.
I like
Done.
that. I do like that. She's not going to have any clue what I'm talking about next time I call her that, but it's going to be great. I'm
Going to be a
love
whole
it.
new choice at Subway. White, wheat, or step?
I would like the step bread, please.
Yeah, let's take the step bread fan, please. Yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, just it's been pretty basic. Like I said, I've actually been going to bed early a lot lately too because I'm taking the NyQuil at night.
Yeah.
And the thing about taking NyQuil, and I don't know if this is the case for everybody, maybe this is just the way it is with NyQuil, but yes, it knocks you out. But it's like, man, if I don't have a good 7 hours, I wake up so groggy. So I'm like
Yeah,
hitting the
man.
hay like super early.
It hadn't let its grip out off you yet.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not worked quite to the way that it usually does because I'm still dealing with some stuff. But
Dang
it
it.
definitely helps me sleep throughout the night without waking up 32 times from hacking and coughing and whatnot. So
That's good.
that's good. So outside of that, all I've been doing is playing games. And pretty much the only game I've been playing is Death Stranding.
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I I enjoy this game.
Oh, I'm so glad
I don't
you do.
think
Good,
that
man.
I should in terms of like, there's things about it that if it were a different game, I probably would be like, nah, man, I'm out.
What does that mean?
But there's something about it. I just like it. It's oddly relaxing to play.
Yes.
Like the other night, I got to this point in the game, and they were talking about. Shoot, man, I get so nervous about anything that could be deemed spoilerish. They were talking about this thing to make something easier. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Just walking there. I'm cool. I'm just gonna do that.
Great.
Yeah, and like, it's so weird. The story is still super interesting to me. Look, here's there's been tons of debate about this game, obviously.
Yep.
Here's what I will say. Yes, there is weird stuff in the game, but the thing is that inside that universe, it all up until this point where I am right now in the game, I just reached over into chapter 4. It all makes sense there. Like things, I feel like so far everything has been explained. So yes, like when you think of Star Wars, like it's weird that these people have force powers. They can shoot things away with just their mind and all these other things like that. But when you buy into the world of universe of Star Wars, like, oh, it makes sense in that world. In the real world, of course, it makes no sense. The reason that Norman Reedus carries this baby and the reason that there's these ghostly things that have like weird umbilical cords and the handprints on the ground and everything, it's all weird. But as you start to find out more information, it all makes sense in that world.
It does make sense.
Yep.
Yes, it does. I mean, there are a few things that are like, I could tell or I'm not expecting are still going to be explained. Like not everything has been, and here it all is with the red bow yet.
Yes.
But everything as it gets explained, and I haven't been reading the emails, so maybe even more would be explained if I read the emails. It makes sense in that world.
I thought you were reading the emails.
I mean, I said, all right, I'm going to jump in, and I read a couple, and then I was like, I'm moving on.
I love that.
So, I mean, I will read, if any of them have yellow in them, that's, again, I had mentioned before, like where something's highlighted, where it's maybe more important, I'll read that one. Okay. But if it's just like, oh my gosh, really like that pizza you brought me, it's like, nah, I'm not reading that.
Yes.
I get it from the heading. I don't need to read any of the rest of it.
I like that pizza you brought me.
Yeah.
Like even when it comes down to, so something that we mentioned before, and a lot of people have mentioned, but the names of the characters. Yeah. Like, yes, they're weird. Like you have Mama and you have Dead Man and Heart Man and Die Hard Man and all these different things. And like Sam is Sam Porter Bridges. But as you start to play the game, you realize that, in this world where they are now in the United States or United Cities of America, people basically take on their name, part of their name becomes what they do and what they like. Not just maybe it's their job or
which is how it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So like in the world, the actual world, the real world.
Yeah. So like Dead Man, that seems like that's a ridiculous name, but he deals with people that died and he's studying the dead and trying to figure out all the BT stuff. So that's why he's called that. It's not like some weird name. Situation. Yeah. On the nose kind of thing necessarily. It's like, and people take on like Sam. It's Sam Porter Bridges. Yes, he is a porter, but like when he used to do something else, he had a different name. Right. It's like, and that's the way it is for everybody. Whatever their main thing that they do is, they don that as like part of their name. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's again, on the surface, yes, absolutely, it's ridiculous. But once you start to hear the story and get the explanation as to why things are the way they are, it's like, at least in that world, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I still wish Deadman's mouth didn't move.
Say again?
Dead Man, he's the one with the mask on, right?
Yes.
The black guy?
No. That's Die Hardman.
Oh, sorry.
Which, by the way, that's the way they say it, Die Hardman, like as if it's a last name. Yeah, it's not like Die Hardman. Yeah. It's like, Die Hardman.
Like Blackman.
Yeah, or Spider-Man if it was one word.
Yeah.
Or Batman.
But for some reason, it bugs the crap out of me that his mouth moves.
Really?
It like separates just a little bit. I wish it was a mask and it just stayed closed.
You know what? The weird thing is that I actually kind of dig that, how every now and then it opens a little bit as he's moving. Because I feel like that's what it would do.
But exactly.
I feel that feels like a subtle detail that I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool that they actually thought about that.
Remember how they did Transformers? And like the first time you see Optimus Prime and his mouth moved, like his shield, the shield in front of his mouth came down, and his mouth would move. Yeah, I could not stand that. I was like, oh, just leave the shield up and let it just like jiggle around a little bit as he talks.
I totally feel where you're coming from, but I just had the total opposite reaction. The first time I saw it split just a little bit, I was like, oh, that's kind of a subtle, cool little detail. But yeah, I get what you're saying, though, how it could bug some people. And again, completely understand that if someone starts up this game, gets 3, 4, 5 hours in, and they're like, I hate this game. I totally get it.
Really?
I'm not going to be one of these people who's like, oh, well, you just don't get it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I understand. It's just because I thought that's how it was going to go for me. I thought, I'm going to go in hoping to like it, and it's just not going to work. And thankfully, it's been definitely working for me so far.
Do you feel like you're playing a game, or do you feel like you are a part of an experience of some sort?
It's both. And that's something that I will say that going in, I was like, it's really not going to be much game to it. There's actually a lot of gamification stuff to it. There's a lot of game things. There's a lot of systems, and there's a lot of things that as you learn how that they work and where they go that are typical to games. Now, they may come to you in a different way, and they may come to you slower than a normal game would introduce mechanics and different kinds of things. But it definitely is a game. I don't feel like it's just an experience per se, but I do think the experience and the story and all that stuff, like if you don't suspend your disbelief and kind of buy into the story that's being told to you and try to find the interesting stuff inside that, if you're just writing it off in the beginning, like, you're not going to have fun, on top of the fact that the mechanics are different than what you would see from a typical game.
Oh, are the mechanics pretty different?
Different in the sense that, like, most games are not having you walk and balance your stuff in that mechanic. Like, most of the time, most games, you push forward or you click on run, and you just run. You can run over anything. It doesn't really matter unless you're falling off a cliff. Yeah, like, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But in this game, like, even walking, like, you have to, depending on where you are in the game and what's going on, you may have to pay attention to, do you have too much stuff? Is there's going to be balancing that you may have to pay attention to. Like, I can see how someone would get totally turned off by that right away. But again, when you're in there and you start messing around with it, I feel like it makes sense the way that you're doing it. And if they didn't have, oddly enough, if they didn't have the balancing mechanic, I think that would detract from the game.
Interesting.
Even though coming in, I thought the idea that, or the fact that there's a balancing mechanic, I was like, that's the dumbest mechanic in a game ever. Like, right? I'm going to hate that.
You would think that.
And I actually don't. And it honestly becomes a little bit of a non-issue as you progress later in the game, depending on certain situations.
Yeah.
So
there you go. Nice. I'm so happy about that, Chris McCracken.
Mm-hmm. So am I.
And you think you're about 20 hours in now?
Yeah. The other day I was chatting with Gabe when we were playing Apex or something, and I said, I think I'm about 22 hours in. I was totally looking at the wrong stat place. I was actually around that time, I was about 17. So I'm probably around 22 now.
Gotcha.
Nice,
just
man.
crossed over to chapter 4. I have no idea how many chapters there are, and I don't know how many hours in theory it is to complete the story either. Mm-hmm. And I'm still not focusing a ton on side stuff. I'll do occasionally, like, for instance, if I have to go to this other area because that other area is where the next story thing is, I'll pick up some side stuff that I can achieve on the way to that route. But I'm not really going out of my way to I'm just going to go do the side thing. I'm really trying to keep the story going, mainly because for me, like, if I have to go a couple days and I don't really get the time to play because this is not the kind of game you want to, I got 20 minutes.
Right.
Yes.
I want to keep the story going because if I get too far away from it, I'll start to forget little details, and I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to just play it. That's part of the reason I've been playing as much as I have, because I want to keep the story going and figure out what all's going on, but also because I'm enjoying my time with it. But yeah, I'm mainly sticking to the main story stuff and not doing a ton of side things, just occasionally. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's
awesome.
it for me, though. That's all I've been playing, and all I plan to be playing here coming soon.
That's so awesome, Chris. I'm happy for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Me too.
Tim.
Yes.
What have you been doing?
Not playing that.
In a good way or a bad way? That sounds...
No, that's fine. No, I haven't been playing anything in general. But we had our last competition probably of this year, this past weekend, which is good. Our last cheer competition. Man, they really do go all out. This was at the Ag Center. They had like full lights, sound system, LED. Like, this was like,
y'all ready for this?
Exactly.
That's literally the song I was going to sing too. I was like, I can't hear anything else. Pump up the jam, just pump it up. It's all those songs.
So it was kind of a good, it was like a good predecessor to probably what Nationals are going to be like down in Florida in February. But this was kind of a practice run for them. They already made the bid, so it was good though. It was really cute to see her out there, and they had a good time. So we have no practices now until after Thanksgiving. So she's going to be off of school.
So I got a real quick question. I don't remember if you've said this or not, but the cheerleading that she's doing in the competition stuff, that's independent. Like that, she doesn't on the side or with that cheer for like a football team or basketball team or anything, right?
No, yeah. This is straight up competitive cheer. Now, what I learned as well, Chris, is there are different teams. So like a high school will have both a sideline cheering, like on the football field or basketball field. They'll have a team like that. And then a lot of high schools also have competitive cheer teams. So when we're at these cheer events, once the younger kids go on, then you'll see the middle school and then the high schoolers. And so a lot of high schools and middle schools have a separate competitive cheer team that is strictly on the competitive cheer circuit. Yes.
So for these competitive teams, hers and then even the older ones, and I know that cheer's not quite this simplistic, but did they have a go Tigers, even though there's no team the Tigers are rooting for? Do they have a team that they're doing?
You have signs. You have.
So what is theirs? Is it go?
They are the Wilco Wildcats.
Wildcats. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they all kind of follow the same formula. You start off, doing a few stunts. So, Piper's getting up in the air and they either do like a spin or lift their legs up and something like that. Then there's music involved. Then it's usually a break and then they actually do a cheer. And then you kind of have like this ending where the music goes back up and that's where they do kind of more of their difficult stunts. So it's kind of like as you watch something like this, you kind of see the patterns. And I'm like, I don't know how you judge this, but okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
it's probably more of a technical thing, kind of like like gymnastics.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very like if somebody falls, you get a deduction. Like there's deductions, there's a certain point level, and all kinds of fun stuff. So, but yeah, but it's been, like I said, it's been great. She loves it, and we're all for it. So we're in. So yeah, so she'll be off of school this next week, and so we've got a few things planned with some cousins, and then we'll just have some fun and enjoy the Thanksgiving break. So this past weekend, our friend Heather, she's a single mom. Her daughter Lily is Piper's best friend. They've known each other for like 2 years, or since they were 2. And so she just went through this really bad custody case with her ex. And so she had to move out of her house, and she's moving in our same development, but she's just moving down the block. So she was moving, and we didn't help her move or anything. She was like getting things done, and she mentioned something to the point of, "Hey, if you don't mind, like on Saturday night, we may have to stay at your place." And we're like, "Okay, sure, just let us know." So during that day, we actually took her kids so that she could help move a little bit, and we went and we saw Maleficent. Which was really good, by the way.
It was.
It really is. I like both of them now. Like I just
is that
saw
a sequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We just sat down and saw the first one. I want to say like a month ago because I never saw it and I always wanted to see it. And I'm like, man, this is really good. Like I was really impressed. And the one in theaters now is just as good. It was really good. The effects are awesome and. Yeah, Angelina Jolie does a really good Maleficent, so it was awesome. So yeah, we're trying to help her out, and Piper's having a great time with her best friend, and she also has a younger son, Nolan, who's 5, and so we were just kind of babysitting for a little while. And so we get back to the house, and next thing you know, she's still packing, and she's not here yet. She's not here yet. She's not here yet. And then she finally rolls in at like 10:30 at night, says, "Okay. If you don't mind, I'm just going to crash here." And we're like, okay. Like I thought, she may have put a bed together in the new house or something like that. So now I've got her and the 2 kids and then her boyfriend who's coming over, who's been helping, comes over. It's like, yeah, I was going to go back up to Nashville with my dog, but it's like 10:30 and 11. I'm like, dude, just stay here. So I have like a whole other family in my house starting at 10:30 at night. So the dog's
group.
It really was. So like his dog came in and his dog's sweet. I've met her before. And so the dogs had to get so there's a lot of running around and barking and Thaxton and Pepper just all up in her business. And it's just like blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to I am going to go over and see Gabe at midnight because I know he's still streaming and this is great.
He is.
So it's like 11:15, 11:30. Everybody's starting to settle down. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to lie here with Lauren and Piper. We're just going to all chill out. And then I fell asleep.
It's the next day.
And then it's the freaking next morning, and Gabe Patillo, I went to publicly apologize. I had it all set up, man. I was going to go. I was going to go down to MAPCO. I was going to get you a coffee. We're going to get some donuts. We're going to hang out. And I was so excited. And I had a ragtag group in my house. And I don't know. I passed out, man. And I'm so sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Dude, I was so mad. I'm like, oh, gosh. And so I woke up. It's
waiting by the phone like a
I know.
product of a single parent home. But it's fine.
Right.
Just another man.
That's right.
Broken promises.
Unbelievable.
He's gonna call. I know it.
He's gonna show up, right,
yeah,
Dad?
I have my
he's gonna
bag
show
packed.
up. Mm-hmm. We'll go fishing another day, son. But yeah, I am so sorry, brother. It was just it was just kind of a crazy weekend, and we got a little bit more of it on Sunday too. So it's just like we didn't really have a weekend. I mean, obviously we want to help her out because she's kind of doing it by herself, but I felt so bad. But other than that, man, I watched. So we saw Maleficent. I watched been keeping up with The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, which is good. Episode 2 was dropped this past week, and it's just I'm really interested in it. It's great. And like I said, on the gaming front, I haven't played anything. I've got a big project I've got to finish before this Thanksgiving break, so I've been up just working on that. But I do intend to get back into some Watch Dogs 2, and yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me.
Did you play any Watch Dogs 2, or you're just hoping to get back into it?
I'm hoping to get back into it. The last time I played, I think, was last Thursday or Friday.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's been a little busy.
There you go.
I'm with you because I'm debating the whole Christmas lights and stuff too. We did actually we have one fake tree that we usually put upstairs in the media room, and we went ahead and did that this past weekend. Because that's our family ornament tree, like a lot of ornaments that Lauren and I collect from traveling and just, Piper's First and all kinds of stuff. And we usually have like one little family tree. And then we just ordered, we did all fake trees this year. So we're not doing real trees, which I'm kind of bummed about. But, we've done a little bit of some Christmas decoration. I haven't done anything outside yet. And I'm with you guys, man. I want to wait till Thanksgiving, but everydy's putting everything up early.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
It's crazy. Like, especially in my neighborhood, there's just lights everywhere. I'm like, it's mid-November. Like, we're not even there yet. So, But you're right, because Thanksgiving's late. I think a lot of people just want to get in the holiday spirit. And to be honest, I don't mind either, because this is the time of year where Lauren gets crazy. So there's a lot of busy and running around. And so we don't get to sit and really enjoy our decorations because we're moving and shaking so much. So that's the delicate balance of, should we put it up now and we can enjoy it a little bit longer, or do we wait until after Thanksgiving? But we'll see. Anyway, I'm done talking. That is it for me.
Edward.
Yes, word.
You have any single parents crashing at your house?
No, man.
That joke's a struggle, boy. We were those people for a little bit, so I get what homegirl's going through, man.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Were you a single lady with 2 kids? Like, hey, listen, man, I just need a place to stay right quick.
Right. Can you take these kids? Oh, and here's my boyfriend. Oh, and here's his dog.
Yeah. Well, minus all that stuff, but yeah, we were the rest.
Right. Yeah.
Edward, you came back from Florida and South Carolina this week.
That's right.
From South Florida,
That's right. Yeah, it was a nice getaway. We had a good week hanging out with Sarah's family in Hilton Head, and it was a lot cooler than we expected, but we still had a good time hanging out. We got to do a couple of escape rooms.
Oh, a couple of escape rooms.
Well, we went to one that was unfortunately I felt really bad for the lady, but we had a group of, I think, 7 of us in there, and so and it was like 2 rooms, and so we're all kind of in there doing our thing. And at one point, they came on the intercom and they were like, "How did you get that?" We got lost, and basically what happened is we skipped ahead because 2 things weren't locked that should have been locked.
Oh, nice.
And so
they hadn't locked it.
Nice.
Yeah, so like
the setup was a little miffed.
Yeah,
that's funny.
And so the lady was like, "Oh my gosh, we have someone new working here. They totally screwed up the setup." And they were like, "You were supposed to do this, and the black light would do that." And we were like, "Oh, that would have been awesome." And she was like, "You know what? you know, are you visiting? Are you from the area? Like, we're like, yeah, we leave tomorrow. She said, you know what? Come back in like 45 minutes. You can do another room if you want, no charge. And so that was really
nice.
cool because I felt bad for her because I would feel horrible if that happened to someone else.
Yeah.
So it was really nice of her to, you know, she could have offered a refund or a partial refund, which I totally would have understood. But the fact that we got to do a whole nother room, that was really fun. And we had a good time doing that. That one was set up perfectly.
There you go.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. On the way back, I stopped in Charlotte on our layover and got to hop on Twitch for just a little bit and watch Gabe stream. I heard Chris on there playing. They were playing Apex at the time, and just was like, man, I just gotta. Even if I can only hop in for a couple minutes, I want to hop in and see how Gabe's doing, see what's going on. And
can I just say, when Ed jumps in your stream, this joker a doggone celebrity.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, Ed's here. Yeah. I felt myself get nervous. I was like, oh snap. It was like the principal just showed up. I was like, oh, button your shirt back up, tuck your shirt in. Ed's here. Ed, the real streamer's watching.
That's just how awesome our community is, man, because they're like that when anyone shows up. You know, it's just really cool.
It's different when you show up. It's like, because I'm with you. Like when Neebs and everybody shows up, it's like, Neebs.
Right.
When Ed shows up, Chris, am I wrong? When Ed shows up, it's just a little different because these, you know, because what's amazing about our community is like that Ed has garnered some people that follow him on Twitch that didn't find him through Married to the Games. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of become friends with those people if you go to his stream a lot, and then those people come support you in your stream. So it's not really always Married to the Games people. Some of them are just Ed people. And so Ed brings, like Jack, you know what I'm saying? Like Jack came over and played. You know, I don't think he knows anything about Married to the Games, but he knows Ed, and then came and supported Gabe because of Ed. And so
that's awesome.
It's just awesome when you showed up. I was like, oh snap, freaking Denzel Washington just walked up in this morning.
But no, it was just awesome just to see you doing your thing and just to be sitting in that little airport and just having that contact and checking in on you guys and then got home and was like, man, I got to check in on Gabe, see how he's doing, and hopped on and you guys were playing Overwatch and I was like, Sarah, I told you when we got home that I was gonna hop on and see what Gabe's doing, and if he's playing something I'm playing, I might be playing with him. She's like, no, that's totally fine. And so 5 a.m. I'm like, wow. At 5 a.m. the people are good and we are not. So, but man, it was just so much fun just seeing the community that turned up for you and just the support and you know, and I know that, you know, Logan stayed nearly the entire 24 hours and
dude, that was crazy.
And some people just kind of checking in when they could just to say, hey, how you doing? Keep up the great work. And that was just, you know, and it makes such a huge difference when you're not doing it alone, when you've got people there with you, playing with you or cheering you on. Mm-hmm. And I just had to give, you know, every time I hopped in, the community was there, and it wasn't like 3 people there. No, like the community was there.
Dude, I couldn't believe it.
And awesome. So just, you know, hats off if you stopped into Gabe's stream for 30 seconds, you know, hats off to you, because that makes so much difference when you're on Gabe's side of things in hour 18, you know, bro. So hats off to the community. It was just such an encouragement to see so many people there the entire time. I loved that.
It was
incredible. Man, that was so much fun. Gaming wise for me, been playing Borderlands 3, of course. The Tapmans came over on Sunday, played some Jackbox Party Pack 6. Nice. Sarah hopped into the Doctor Who VR game. They throw you in with 0 tutorial. So this poor girl had both wands in her hand, and you know, because games are different, you don't know how to move in games without, like, she'd be like all the way turned around, and I'm like, nope, there's probably a way to turn yourself in the game because they can't see you if the wands are hidden from the eye and stuff like that. So it was a little difficult to get into. It doesn't always explain itself very well, so we didn't get very far into it. I'll probably hop in sometime this week on my own and just start from the beginning and see what happens.
Yes.
Also on Sunday, I restarted off stream Death Stranding from the beginning.
Oh, you started over.
I did.
You had reached about, it was like 2 or 3 hours the first go round, right?
Yeah, I had reached, I believe, almost chapter 2. I had played for 4 hours, maybe a little more than that. But because when I'm streaming, you're chatting, you're pausing to thank people or say hello or whatever. And I was like, you know what? I don't know that this is the kind of game that you can really get everything out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
When you're streaming. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to restart from the beginning, just pay attention to the story. And as much as I enjoyed the game while I was streaming it, man, it's so much better when you're paying attention.
Wow.
I just really, really enjoyed it. I got a little bit past where I was the first time through on stream and just really having a nice time. Like Chris said, everything makes sense. It's so weird now. I went back actually and watched that very first teaser, and I'm like, you know what? I wondered when we were watching the teaser and we were all so confused, how will this ever make any sense? And now it's like, baby in a jar, naked on a beach, whales on the... Yeah, everything makes perfect sense. Yeah. It's just so bizarre to be on the other side now where you're like, yeah, I get what's going on. It's just, it's so fun. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that game, and I'm just going to keep that one. Someone suggested just play that one off stream, and then if you want to go back and play it on stream, start over again. And so I might do that. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to keep this one for myself, I think.
There you go.
I think that's a good plan, especially with something that's so narrative heavy in terms of the story matters so much to the actual game, and then the fact that as you go further and further, you get less and less of like the cutscene story element. Like for me, I reached some cutscene stuff the other night, and that was the first time I'd seen it in probably hours. Like outside of if I'm going to read emails, which we've clearly established I do very little of, I'm not getting a ton of information. I mean, a little bit on the comms here and there, but the cutscenes start to really slow down, and it focuses more on the gameplay stuff. So yeah. And I was playing, and Sarah was in the room while I was playing, and she was hooked. She was, I stopped playing, and she was so like, if you want to keep playing, you can. So it was awesome to see that. And then of course hopped into some Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and
nice.
I've played it for 2 different streams. Day 1 was a struggle. They have
the bus was revved up.
That struggle bus was flying off the cliff, and no one had seatbelts.
It was ready to go.
It was and people, I'd heard people mention that it's pretty tough. There are 4 difficulty settings. I'll just say easy, medium, hard, and extra hard, just to make it simple. I had it set to medium. I thought that'd be pretty safe. And that was, even on medium, the description was, if you're new to combat games or whatever. And I thought, well, I'm not super new. Yeah. So this should be
you're
okay.
A veteran.
And holy crap, that was hard.
Oh yeah.
That was...
It wasn't your fault, Ed. I'm still sticking with that. It's not your fault.
As well. And I was talking about how when you hit the square button to swing your lightsaber, you tap it, there's a split second but still noticeable pause.
We're going to call it a Stadia delay.
Yes. Ooh, exactly.
The Stadia
delay. So there's that notable pause, and then even after the pause ends, he doesn't swing the saber, he does a backswing and then swings the saber.
And that's if the saber's out.
Yes.
If it's not out, then he pulls it out, then swings it back, then swings it forward.
Yeah. And so there's a lot. I've done a lot of different, like, if I tap the block button, tap, he'll block the first time. Then maybe he'll sit down and think about blocking another time right away, quickly. It's definitely not like an Assassin's Creed where every time you hit the block button, it's instantaneously a block. So it can be a little muddy sometimes. And by the end of the stream, I was super frustrated on day 1, switched it down to easy mode and started to feel okay. Yeah, it's super easy to kill these guys, but it's okay because the combat's not the easiest for you, boy. Day 2, I really enjoyed my time with it. Switching it to the easiest mode was what was best for me. I've said it before. I'm not the best at games. And then in the stream on the second day, people were like, yeah, it is. People have been comparing it to a Sekiro. And I'm like, oh, I didn't hear about that part.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. The puzzles are tough. I like puzzle games. And I spent the last, I don't know how long yesterday trying to figure out a puzzle. Fortunately, at the end, I was like, okay, for the next 3 minutes, you're allowed to backseat game. Jared Orr, please tell me how to solve this puzzle. And I would not have figured it out. And even when he told me, oh, you're supposed to do this, I accidentally did the opposite. And that worked. And Jared was just like, well, that shouldn't have happened.
That's nice.
That door was supposed to be locked. Sorry, guys. There's a new person working here. And we didn't set this thing right.
Next game's free on us.
So I'm having fun with it now that it's on easy mode or baby mode, as I call it. And yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I was a little surprised by how much I struggled with it because I was really looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to jumping back in, and that's a good thing. So Gabe we were talking off stream, just kind of. Well, I hope the switching it to lowering the difficulty is what gets it. And fortunately for me, it did. The puzzles are still a little, they can be tough. So Chris will be spending time on the Googles. I'm sure.
That's what I'm frustrated with. Like, is that a thing for Jedi and Star Wars? Like, it feels so against being this powerful Jedi that I have to do puzzles.
Yeah, it feels, it has that Tomb Raider-esque feel to it, of course, but I even mentioned on the stream, sometimes I feel like I'm not playing a Star Wars game. I feel like I'm playing a Monster Hunter World game with puzzles. But I've got a lightsaber because I fight more creatures than I do stormtroopers. And those creatures are annoying.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely different than I expected. I'm still having fun. I'm slightly let down with it, but I know I'm not done yet, and I'm looking forward to playing it still. So I'm not done with the game by any means. I just it wasn't what I
thought
what I expected, I guess. Yeah, and that could be on me. But
what about the way that the game looks?
I don't mind it, although I met Wookiees. And those things look like wax skinny garbage.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wax skinny garbage.
Yeah,
they look too skinny. Their heads are way too skinny, and their hair.
It's
and
not
again,
hair, right?
I know that hair is hard to do.
They need to holler at the people doing cats.
Exactly. So, but even with like the main character, sometimes for no reason, his hair will kind of flow by itself and just kind of bounce. The Wookiees don't have that problem. They just look like, instead of hair, it's just big. Someone said they just have their gel in, their hair gel in, and way too much of it. And it's just like big, hard clumps of hair, and it doesn't flow at all. And it just is really weird. It took me a while to figure out what it was that was unsettling. My eye couldn't pick the one detail out, but then when I realized, they've just been dipped in wax, that's why they're weird.
But that's really like when you're running around the world, and because having not played and not having really looked into any of it, because I do plan to pick it up. Honestly, if Death Stranding hadn't come out right before, I probably would have bought it day one. I'm like, this is something I'll get down the road. But like the vistas and all that kind of stuff, you feel like all that looks.
Everything else, I think it looks great. I've got no complaints about it. Yeah, it just it was the Wookiees were so jarring. It kind of put me on my heels for a second. But it's not a game breaker by any means. I'm enjoying it. I'm curious to see. People really love this game, and I should have known when Jared said he loved it. I should have known it was going to be a tough game because that's Jared loves those. So dialed it down, and now I'm having a good time, and I'm eager to get back in. I know it sounds like I don't like it, but I do enjoy it now that it's been on ed mode for me.
There you go.
Yeah. So I can't complain.
Nice.
Gabriel.
All right, Mr. Patillo.
I mean, you guys have heard it. I did Extra Life this last weekend, and it was
you did.
freaking awesome. I was so nervous because I had doubled my goal from last year. And like Ed was saying, you guys are amazing. Came through, crushed that thing, raised
you did, man.
Raised $1,295. We're looking
awesome.
for 1,000. So it's just
So
like,
awesome.
oh man, it's such a euphoric feeling. It's just like one of those things where when you're done, your body just feels like you've been through something. Like, all right, we just been through something. Like 24 hours sitting in the same chair. And, you know, if you're like me or Ed, because I watch some people's Extra Life stream and they're sat back in their chair and they're not saying anything for hours. They're just playing games and the camera's on them. And me and Ed can't do that. So we are having to talk the whole time, and we're wanting to talk with the community. And maybe that's a little bit because of our community so good that they're talking to you and trying to keep you up and stuff like that. And so it was really great to just talk with the community, meet some people I had never met before, and and just be engaged in that. And so, you know, it's exhausting because you're talking the whole time. And so, you know, I tried to start off like up, and I wanted to end up, but I know that there was some times there that I was like, oh, I haven't talked in like 5 minutes. I should probably say something. Started off with Jedi Fallen Order, and I, for a quick recap. So beat Astral Chain, right? Astral Chain in that game has 3 different difficulties. Story mode, casual, what they call casual, and then like a hard mode, and then another hard mode opens up after you beat the level, right? And so I played on casual. Casual to me on Astral Chain was really, really easy. I never lost. I never died. I never like had to go back and do anything over again. I just like plowed through the game. Really enjoyed that game. Astral Chain, it looked great. Didn't ever need an update. I don't know who did it, but hats off to you. Great game. Great game.
Nice.
Top 5 I haven't played a bunch of games this year. But it might be squeezing in the top 3 games of the year for me this year. It was just so much.
Oh wow,
so
that's
much
awesome.
fun. The fighting felt great. It's snappy. It's quick. The art style is great. It's totally, you know, voice acted all the way through except for your freaking main character, which gets on my nerves. But your main, you have a silent main character, and so. Because of that, I went into Jedi Fallen Order, like Ed said, 4 difficulties. Story mode, which is like baby mode. It literally is like, you don't have to really do anything. Just press square a couple times, you'll beat this guy. And then, and then they have, I don't know what they're called, but like, you know, easy, medium, and hard is how I read it. So I was playing, because I didn't want to just swing my lightsaber through the story, like I felt like I was doing in Astral Chains, I had chose the second to hardest tier. And boy, oh boy.
Bad decision?
It's not that it's a bad decision, because here's the thing. I went into every fight like I could win this fight, but that doggone delay on the buttons, to me, makes it unplayable like that. And I know some people like yearn for that, like, yeah, beat me. And they like whip themselves over the back with video games because they just love the punishment.
Exactly.
I'm not like that.
No.
But I want it to make sense. I just want it like, if I hit dodge at the last minute, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? That's what a parry is. You know, when you hit block at the last minute, I want it to block. But this game like starts to block when you first press it. And so you get hit. Now, people are going to disagree with me. People love this game. I get it. Listen, we did the testing. It is not snappy at all. It's not like, you know, Ed did it over and over again, especially that first day. He was like, no, look, square, square, square. Oh, look, he only did it the first time and the third time. It wouldn't do it the second time when he was like swinging or when he was trying to block. Block, block, block. Did it the first time. Didn't do it the second time. Did it the third time.
Man, y'all are making me feel like I'm not going to end up playing this game.
Well, listen, I'm not saying don't play it.
I know you're not saying it, but like this is the same kind of garbage that I just took me completely out of Dishonored. Like to me, like I'm hitting a button and it feels like it takes 20 seconds before they do the thing. I'm like, nah, man. I'm out
Dishonored
on this.
was like that? I don't remember that.
I remember you talking about that, Chris, and I didn't feel that, but you will definitely feel this if you felt that.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it was quite as exaggerated as I'm saying. It felt that way,
right?
But I know most other people and you guys saying like, "Oh, I didn't notice that," so I feel like I was just sensitive to it on that. And that game is first person, so sometimes it's a bit more exaggerated for me when it's in that situation. But it's like, doggone it, man, this is I'm definitely waiting for a sale.
if I
Yeah.
can. So it's one of those things where like voice acting's good. It looks like the story's gonna get good. I went and got it at Redbox just to do it for Extra Life. I don't know that I'm gonna go back to it only because I don't want to play it on baby mode. Like I want to feel strong,
Right.
like a
Yeah.
Jedi, and like fight my way through the thing.
Right.
But-
and you want to level up it correctly in
and-
the way you should.
Right, but like something about the controls just doesn't feel, and I don't know if it, and I'm glad Ed said something because I thought it was just me coming off Astral Chain. I was like, oh, well, that game is like, ba 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 dodge, ba 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 dodge, block, da ba ba ba. Like it's very fast and snappy and like, but this game, woo,
Whoosh.
it's
So
just
Astral Chain, sorry to go back, but real quick, it's not a turn-based thing. It's a
no, it's
as you
action
go
fighting.
action. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
And so, people were in the chat and Ed streamed like, oh, those are what you call startup frames. And I'm like, that's fine and good. But I don't care about all that. Like, swing the lightsaber. And so, like, I wanted to like it so bad. And I went into it thinking, like, I'm going to do this campaign. Then I'll move on to some multiplayer with the community. Then I'll do the Call of Duty campaign. Like, that was my mindset.
Yeah.
And me and Ed actually quit at the same place. The part that he stopped the first day is the same place I stopped. Like, okay, we're gonna move on to something else now. Like, and I just hated that I felt that way because I didn't want to feel that way. I wanted to be like, whoa, like felt like wind was in your head. You play some games where you're exhilarated, like, oh shoot, like we're doing a thing right now. Like this is dope. I just didn't feel like that with this game.
Man, that stinks.
I know. And I'm really disappointed because I'm really like, I'm trying to get my Star Wars on right now. Like, with episode 9 around the corner, I've already got my tickets with everybody talking about The Mandalorian and me wanting to watch that. And I'm thinking about just like, because I never sit down to watch movies, these days, but I feel like they're safe enough to where like, I think I'm just going to start playing the Star Wars movies in the background, just on the TV, just in the living room. Just so that I can like just get it back in my system and get excited.
You're starting with 4.
Yeah. And so, I'll start with 4 for sure. Machete order. And
That's right.
And so anyway, I was really disappointed in that. So what we ended up doing Extra Life was Fallen Order for the 4 hours or something like that. And then I think that's when we got into some Apex and did some Apex. Didn't get any wins, but it was still really fun to play with Patrick and Mark, and then Chris jumped in there. So it was
you and I got close. I think we got to second a couple games.
A couple times.
Yeah.
But we were playing duos, and for some reason in my head still, I haven't got a full grasp of that. I'm still like looking over.
It's duos.
Yeah, we have to. You'll hear us on the stream saying that over and over to ourselves. It's duos. It's duos. It's duos. Just to get used to the idea. And then we went into some Overwatch with the community, which was like just an amazing time. That was probably my favorite time of the whole stream. Was playing Overwatch from like midnight to 4 o'clock in the morning is when I think our time is when I played it. And Lim was on there, and these guys hung in with me. Kaboski was there. I mean, they hung in for Chules was there, playing with us. They hung in for a long time. And
dude, Lem was like, as long as you're playing Overwatch, I will stick around. And I'm like, well, I'm going to bed, Lem. You win. You're a better guy.
And we, what's funny is that Ed left. We only did one more game, and it happened to be the 9th game that we all needed to complete the thing. And we ended up winning, and everybody got a loot box and stuff like that. So it was a great way to end. And Lim was very glad that I was done playing that game because he was like, I want to be a man of my word. If you're not done, I'll stay around. And I was like, no, I'm done. He's like, oh, thank God. And so he went to bed.
I gotta take some pictures.
What's so funny is that with Extra Life, it's something. It's weird that I love this. You talk to people when they're going to bed, and you talk to people when they wake up in the morning. Something about that is really intimate to me, and I love it. Like the fact that I played with Lim when he went to bed, and then when he woke up for church the next morning, he came and checked in. He was like, woo, the 4 hours wasn't enough. And you're like, I know, right, buddy? And then he's like, shoot, I was supposed to be at first service, not second service. Like just all these things. And, people be like, good morning, good morning, good morning. And I was like, it was just
That's cool.
Invigorating, and really loved it. So, and then after Overwatch, we plowed through the Call of Duty campaign beginning to end.
Yeah, you did, man.
And it was really fun because we got to the end, and I think I was like 5 minutes over my 24 hours. Because
that was such good timing, dude.
I mean, that was
Yeah, it
crazy.
was.
Because I really started streaming because some stuff was acting weird at like 10:07 a.m. and we ended at 10:12 a.m. the next day. And
Nice.
so it was so cool. And the Call of Duty campaign is what a Call of Duty campaign is. I liked this one more than World War II.
Yeah.
And it's just got, like Chris said, at the end, if you've played a Call of Duty before, I mean, if you've played a Modern Warfare before, and you remember some things, you're like, oh, just they just kind of really tip their hat to some old Modern Warfare stuff, which is really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that's been my gaming. I was thinking about it the other night. I was like, only a gamer would play video games for 24 hours, then go inside, take a nap, and then that night be like, oh man, I should go play some video games probably.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's what I love about gaming.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing of this last weekend. We've got everybody in the houses on the mend. It feels like when the temperature dove off a cliff, everybody got sick except me. I was the last of Mohicans and didn't get sick. And so so yeah, everybody was on the mend. Nothing exciting happening in there. The biggest thing was Extra Life. So
That's awesome, man. Well done.
thank you, buddy. Setting up for the winter. Hey, and listen, we've raised $7,700 as a team.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so it's a lot to ask, but I think we could get there.
Yep.
There's some people that haven't gone yet. I know our captain, Eric, hasn't gone yet this year. And so, like, I don't know, man. But just remember, it's December 31st is the cutoff. So I feel like
We can do this.
I feel like we can do it.
Yeah,
And
man.
so if you haven't signed up or you're on the fence, listen, you don't have to do 24 hours straight like I did. Remember, that's not always a thing. And so I know Patrick Novacell and the Good Morning Guys team, they did one where they broke it all up. Patrick's now going to do one on his own, 24 hours. Frankie is on our team. He hasn't gone yet. And so, like, man, $10,000, you guys, that would be amazing. You have to remember, this is all double up from last year. And so if we can double up and make it, that would be so freaking sick. So
Yeah, man.
I think we can do it. So go sign up, extra-life.org/team/MTTG, and let's do it for the kids, man. Let's do it for the kids. All right,
Love it.
Router,
Yes.
you got it?
Yes.
Well, let's do it!
New releases this week. Ladies and gentlemen, the Google Stadia is now out and about. So here are some of the games that are
You should have
out
seen it
now.
coming, Google Stadia.
That's right. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Destiny 2, Guild, Just Dance 2020, Kind, Mortal Kombat 11, Shadow of the Tomb Raider Definitive Edition, Thumper, Red Dead Redemption 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Samurai Showdown, just to name a few.
Yeah, because they
if
ended
anyone's-
up, we don't have to dive into this, but they ended up launching with 22 games. At the very last minute, they decided to launch with 22 games instead of 12, which I think is great. But it's funny because I saw a story that said Stadia launches with a measly 22 games. I was like, measly?
Yeah, right.
22 is a bunch. But I
Right.
think everybody feels like it's measly because they're all old games.
Right.
Nothing, I think two of them are brand new from Google themselves.
Yep.
So continue, sir.
No, you're good. So I'm curious if anybody out there is playing it. What are your thoughts? Let us know.
Yeah.
Brother, for you, Shenmue 3
Yeah,
for the
baby.
PC and PS4. Are we going to get our Shenmue Saturdays back?
Oh yeah,
Is it
I
gonna
think I
happen?
have to. Like I've been thinking long and hard about it. I'm like, all right, we have Shenmue in its entirety, the first one on our on our YouTube from the Dreamcast, and then I went out and went on that hunt for Shenmue 2 on the Dreamcast, which is super hard, but I did get it. But then they released it on Xbox, and then they put it on Game Pass. So I'm thinking, I don't want to make any promises, but I'm thinking about trying to do 2 and 3. I'm not saying this year, but like cranking it out so we have the whole trilogy. I really want to play Shenmue 3, and I've actually heard really great things. Like people are like, this is exactly what I want it to be. Now, let me preface this. Exactly what we want it to be doesn't mean a great game.
Yes.
So there could
You
be,
are correct.
there could be that. But people that played Shenmue back in the day that are playing Shenmue now, I've read, are really liking it. So
Awesome.
we'll keep it at that. Hopefully the controls are tightened up and the voice acting's better. You know, that's the only things I'm hoping for. But besides that, I want to play it so bad. But it's just the holidays and, money and all those things. And so,
Yep.
The holidays and
Holidays
money.
and, money.
I'm just
Life.
saying, money's getting pulled in a lot of different directions these days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. We also have a few more Narcos, Rise of the Cartels for the PC, PS4, Farmers Dynasty for the PS4, Xbox, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle 2.0 expansion pack for the PC, PS4, and Switch, Civilization 6 for the PS4 and Xbox, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts for the PC, PS4, Xbox. This day in gaming. Let's go back 17 years. We're going back to November 20th of 2002.
Wow.
For the GameCube, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast.
Interesting.
12 years ago, November 20th, 2007, for the Xbox 360, Mass Effect.
Oh, the first
came out.
one.
The first one. And also for the 360, Rock Band.
Nice.
There you go.
7 years ago, November 20th, 2012, for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, Hitman Absolution.
Oh, wow.
And for the PlayStation Vita, RIP, Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
Came out on that same time, November 20th.
Gabe played that.
Yeah, I did. I beat
Yeah,
it.
you did.
I beat it. Yeah, Persona 4.
Most certainly did.
Yeah, 100-something hours.
I remember
Whoosh.
you talking about it on the show and saying you got to some point and you were like 60 hours in. You're like, oh, there's credits. And then it did like a ... and went to something else. And you were like, oh. I remember you talking about that so vividly. I was like, oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Dude, that was one of those games. It was kind of like Zelda, and I don't know if there's something wrong with me, but like I didn't start liking that game till really, really late into playing it. And so, but I was glad that I finally came around.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have MPD for the month of October. So let's get into it really quickly.
Oh, good.
October 2019 tracked spending across video game hardware, software, accessories, and game cards totaled $1.03 billion. That's the second highest total. Last year, 2018, was $1.57 billion.
Wow.
So there you have it. Top 10 games for the month of October. This is U.S. stores or U.S. Only. Number 10, Ring Fit Adventure.
Oh, yeah.
Number 9, Borderlands 3.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, FIFA 20. Number 7, WWE 2K20. Number 6, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Yeah.
Number 5, NBA 2K20.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Madden NFL 20.
Yeah.
Number 3, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, The Outer Worlds. And number 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019.
Yeah, that makes
Wow.
sense.
Yep, it debuts as the best-selling game and is now the best-selling game of 2019 year to date. This is the 12th consecutive year a Call of Duty game has ranked as the best-selling game of its release month. 12 consecutive years. Basically, they own November. Well, no, I'm sorry, they own October. So that's pretty amazing. And Luigi's Mansion 3 set a new launch month franchise sales record, besting the previous high set by Luigi's Mansion. So kudos to them. That is it for me. Back to you, gentlemen.
Chris McCracken.
Yes. So I am going to start with a little bit of a recap of some of the things that happened at XO 19.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is Xbox little celebration of Xbox happened. It happened this year. It was in London. And I think it's
I missed
XO
it.
or it might be 019. I'm not sure what the XO stands for. I thought it was Xbox One, but I don't know that that's what they would have named it after. So I don't know if it's like 20,019. I don't know.
Yeah.
XO 19 is what they're calling it.
Yes.
And most of the big stuff that happened around it, I say, was kind of centered around Project xCloud. Microsoft announced that it would be adding 50 new game titles to the service from 25 different partners. A couple of them including like Madden, NFL 20, and Devil May Cry 5 and Tekken 7. We also learned that xCloud will be coming to Windows 10 PCs in 2020. And they did also announce support through xCloud support for DualShock 4, and there was actually a couple boos in the crowd, which I thought was
Oh,
cool.
wow.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but
Like,
still,
why even bring that up here?
I know, but still, it was funny to me that one that they added it, and two that people were like, "Boo!"
Yeah, exactly.
They also announced a few games there. One in particular called Everwild. They did a trailer from that game, which is a game from Rare, so the same people that made Sea of Thieves, and then all those NES games from back in the day, like Banjo-Kazooie and GoldenEye and yada yada.
Yeah.
I don't know what this it didn't really give us much information. I do think the art style looked really cool. I thought it was a really pretty looking game. Now, what's going to be happening in it and what kind of gameplay is going to be, I don't know that we really know any of that information yet. So I'll be paying attention as more information comes out when it gets closer to release. But I think it looked really good. They offered up a bunch of information about a ton of different Black Friday deals, as a lot of people are doing these days. So if you're interested, you can go check out that stuff. Tell Me Why, which is a new game from Don't Nod Entertainment, which are the same people who made Life is Strange. So I know Ed's going to be all about this one.
All over it. I've
All
already
over
finished it.
Oh my gosh, that's how much you're
Well
into
played.
it. Nice.
My
Good
gosh.
deal. In fact, we won't even have to see
That's
it.
right.
'cause you
I'm done.
already finished it. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And then one other game that they brought up was Grounded, which is from Xbox Studios Obsidian Entertainment. And I believe they're the same ones that just made Outer Worlds as well. So this one is a first-person co-op survival game, and it's kind of like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in a way. Like you're in a backyard and you're shrunk down, and you'll see like giant ants and all these different things as you're going around a background or a backyard kind of area. So interesting. We'll see where it goes from there. Again, it's super early, just them kind of like teasing. This is a thing that's coming from Obsidian. So excited to see where that is going. They also made a few announcements about Xbox Game Pass. One of the things that I don't know if they've done this before. To me, this was brand new, but I saw from a couple different places that they had done this before. But they have the Xbox Game Pass, a bundle going right now where you can get 3 months of the service for $1. And that I remember them doing in the past.
Mhm. Yeah.
But this time around, they're also including 1 month of EA access, 3 months of Discord Nitro, which I still don't fully understand what that is.
I know.
And then if you do it for 6 months, you get 6 months of Spotify Premium.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Oh, wow.
So to me, that alone makes it worth it. Now, I mean, again, not that Game Pass isn't a good service in and of itself, but it's like, and you also, because Spotify Premium is $10. So if you pay $10, you get games and you get a free Spotify Premium service. So I thought that was amazing. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this works because I am currently a Game Pass member. I had bought a 3 month thing of it, and my 3 months ends in like middle of December, something like that.
Right.
When I was looking into it, I can get the 3 months for $1, but there was no mention of the whole like EA Access and Discord Nitro and Spotify Premium thing.
Right.
So I tried to do a little more research, and there's some asterisks, and I looked down at it, and it looked like if you're currently a member, those don't apply to you. But I've seen a couple of articles elsewhere that say that Microsoft said this is even for the people who are currently members can also get these benefits. So I don't know exactly how it works. Hopefully, I'm going to like hitting up Nathan or something, Spider Jedi, and be like, explain to me how this works because I don't understand. I want the Spotify Premium for 3 months or 6 months or however long it is I'm going to do it. So maybe if you're currently a member, you can get these benefits. Maybe you can't. I've seen conflicting information. So it's definitely something that's cool, and I'm glad that they're doing it because the more you can add to your service to make it even more attractive, when it's already an attractive service, the more the better. To me.
Like, I don't even think they don't even need to do anything to me. Like, Game Pass in itself is like, I don't know, man. The ultimate thing. Like, if Xbox if they're able to continue this, which it feels like it would be a money just pit, But if they can continue this, man, I think going into next gen, because I mean, there's some baller games coming to Game Pass in the next couple months. They've already announced like all the old Final Fantasies that people love from 7. I think 9 was missing. But like 7, 8, 10, 13, and they got Witcher 3 coming this holiday.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They just got a lot of the Yakuza series, Tekken, Ori's coming again. It's going to be interesting. Freaking Flight Simulator, of course. How could I forget Flight Simulator? I'm just kidding.
I mean, it does look pretty. And by the way, to clarify from before, the deal with the EA Access and Discord and all that stuff is for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So the version that bundles it for PC, for Xbox, and Xbox Live. So not just normal Game Pass.
Right.
So I want to make sure I clarify that.
Yes.
But a lot of good stuff over on the Xbox world.
Yes, for sure. I wanted to touch on this just because I wanted you guys' thoughts, because I have no idea what this is about. And so we saw a couple weeks ago that Sony, and we talked about this months and months ago, that Sony has trademarked or copyrighted or whatever, however you do the thing,
Copyrighted.
Patent
or
filed,
trademarked. Yeah,
filed for a patent for cartridges.
Yeah.
And so people are starting to dig around in this a little bit, and Let's Go Digital, the guys that always dig up these patent filings, are trying to like kind of start bringing out 3D renders of what these cartridges might look like, and trying to guess at what they might be. Do you guys have any clue as to what Sony might be doing with these SSD cartridges? That's not going to be the way games are coming now, right? They have to stick to the disc. Even though they should go solid state cartridges would be the smarter, cheaper way to go, I would imagine. But what do you think it's going to be, Ed?
I think most people, and I'm kind of on board, assume that if this is going to be something they're going to use, it's going to be something to do with like hard drive. Where
space?
Space where you can swap it out. I would love that. I think that'd be a great thing.
That's what I thought too. Maybe an external, instead of plugging in are we thinking they're going to take away the ability to plug in a USB, or they want everything to be solid state and be able to run like that because the solid state's going inside the machine? So they want a peripheral or a storage capacity outside the machine to be solid state as well?
Yeah, they might not take away the ability to plug in an external, but just kind of like, but this is really how you should do it.
Yes.
It seems to me, and I think some of the speculation, I haven't been able to read a ton of it yet, but is that if it is indeed the cartridge, so to speak, is just swapping out the SSD, and could be, number one, a way to keep the initial price of the system down, because maybe the hard drive that it comes with is only like 250 gigs or 500. Like,
you think it'll be that low?
No, hang on.
Oh.
I'm just talking about the SSD part, because you remember.
That's what I'm talking about too.
That's what I'm saying. If that helped, because if the SSD is indeed super expensive, that could be a way to get the initial price down, and they'll say, but you can buy these expansions to get the SSD larger. Like if you want 2 terabyte, 3 terabyte, 4 terabyte. I don't think that they would eliminate USB ports that would also let you attach to external storage. Of course not. Because they're going to obviously push everything that's running off of the SSD.
That's right.
And I think because we've talked about before, like, if this SSD, even though SSDs overall have gotten cheaper, if this is some newfangled version and yada, 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 it's like, how can this not make the price of the console go skyrocket? So to me, I feel like it'd be just a way for you to upgrade the one that you play your games off of. Yeah. Now, I don't think they'd be cheap if that's what it was, but it gives you the option for expandability and ease of expandability, because if you just pull out this one slot and put it back in the new version, whatever it's going to be, I think that would be them trying to keep things as flexible as they can while also keeping the initial cost of the system down for people that are coming in the door. Even though if anything like this generation, a 500 gigabyte SSD or God forbid 250 is going to get eaten up like that. I mean, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is 123 gigabytes.
Yeah.
I mean,
by itself.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's ginormous.
Makes no sense.
I don't think they're going to have less than a terabyte in there.
I could see them having less than a terabyte in there.
Oh man.
What do you want? Do you want less than a terabyte, or do you want knocking on the door $600 console? I mean,
well, it's hard because like part of me thinks it's gonna be that expensive anyway.
Yes.
Even though I really want it to be $500, especially because of all the things Xbox has been saying. Like Microsoft has kind of come out like, this was crazy that they were like, yes, we came out more expensive, and yes, we were not as powerful as the PlayStation 4. And so they talked about being, very competitive and, trying to come out, most bang for your buck this next thing. And I know SSDs are expensive to us, but I just don't know how that works in a business to where they're like, well, we can get SSDs for really cheap.
Right.
Throw them in here.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I hope it's not, because I feel like, didn't the Pro come, and I know it's not SSD, but didn't the Pro come with a terabyte in there? And the Xbox One X came with a terabyte in there. So it feels like they'd be taking a step backwards to go back to 500 gigabytes to me.
No, I absolutely agree that they'd be going backwards in terms of that. But I think they could easily sell but of what's in there, it's super fast and yada yada. I don't think that wouldn't still be a hassle. It absolutely would.
Yes, that's right.
But part of that as well, what you were mentioning, the stuff like that Xbox has been saying. One other thing that they've been saying on the PlayStation side as well is in a lot of these interviews with Jim Ryan and whatnot, is they've been definitely talking about like, we want to transition people to PS5 super fast.
Yeah, why is that, you think?
The fact that they're saying that, I don't know why per se, but I will say the fact that they're saying that makes me think, okay, maybe PS5 won't be as expensive as it is. Because if it's a super expensive console, you can't transition people as fast as possible. It's just not going to happen. But if the price is super attractive, which maybe they get the price down because the SSD is a lot smaller because they're like, oh, but you can buy a new one when you have the time or price or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. That alone made me think, oh, maybe PS5 is not going to be as expensive as I'm anticipating it being because they made that statement.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I thought the same thing. Yeah. Interesting. What else you got, Chris?
All right, so I know it's kind of sad that I'm only going to be touching on this, but number one, we don't have a ton of information. And number two, I actually never played these games. But Valve did announce that there is going to be a new Half-Life game.
Yeah, you never played any Half-Life.
I have almost played nothing on computer, and it was only on computer.
Wow.
Only for a very short time did I have a computer even capable of playing some games at that time.
Yeah, I feel you.
So no, I that's the only reason I've not played it. Not because I had no interest. It was I just did not have access to a machine that could do it. But yeah, they did announce a new Half-Life game called Half-Life Alyx, I believe is how you mention it.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a Vive game.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really crazy.
All there was a tweet from a Valve account on Twitter that said, we're making a new Half-Life. It's called Half-Life Alyx. We'll tell you more about it Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific, which is this week. So tomorrow, the day after the day of recording. So
yes, of course.
We will be finding out more what exactly that means.
Yeah,
but
baby.
I know a ton of people are super excited about this.
Well, because
there are a lot of Half-Life people.
Well, and you got to remember, because I played Half-Life 1 and then played a little of Half-Life 2. But then, my game of my life pretty much in high school was Counter-Strike, which was Half-Life mod. And the fact that they've been asking for Half-Life 3 for the better part of 2 decades is what it feels like. But definitely 10 years. I think anything Half-Life perks people's ears up. And I think it even perks people's ears up of people who, like you, have never even played a Half-Life game. Just because they've heard of Half-Life.
I know the cultural significance of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, I don't know what this means or but I think that for people, so I'm a Final Fantasy VII guy, as everybody knows. Every little time something Final Fantasy VII came out, whether it was like Crisis Core or the movie or the Vincent game that came out that I didn't play, like you're always like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Ooh, what are they going to do? And so I feel like this gives people that are really wanting a Half-Life 3 just that little glimmer of hope that, man, maybe if this one does really good, then it'll show that the name is still viable and still makes money.
Yeah, so. And we don't know, is this just going to be a new branch in a variant of Half-Life? Like, for instance, so they made Half-Life and Half-Life 2. It was supposed to be 3 games. Yes. And there never was a third.
Right.
Then they had that Half-Life Episode 1 and Half-Life Episode 2, which again was supposed to be 3, and they didn't come out with a third.
Yep. Which was back in 2007, by the way.
Yep. And then they've made Team Fortress 2, never a third. Portal 2, never a third. Left 4 Dead 2, never a third. And Dota 2. Never a third.
Never a third.
So if they're going to keep with tradition, it probably
Yes.
will just be a new version. And the fact that it's on a completely different platform, being that it's only VR, granted, they make the Vive, so it makes sense for them to want to push something on that. But it's like,
Isn't that crazy?
granted, I know that Half-Life people are good to have more Half-Life, but whether or not it will be 3 or...
Don't
Who
you feel
knows?
like that's a really high level of entry? That's the only thing that bums me out a little bit. I'm like, just on the Vive, I have to go buy a Vive to even play this game?
Right.
And you're like, ugh, that seems a little steep for your boy.
It is possible that it could release on the Vive and then still be branched out to other platforms because, you can play stuff through Valve on the Rift. And they've made games before that have come to like consoles, so like maybe possibly down the road a PSVR kind of thing.
Yes.
But we don't know. We don't really know anything other than something's going to be happening that's Half-Life involved on Thursday.
Yep.
So we'll find out.
Interesting.
I like it. All right. Real quickly, because we're doing this show in the morning and people have places to be, we got to touch on the Video Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yes.
The nominees were all announced. You can go vote at thegameawards.com/nominees. Make your voice heard. Go vote. I'm going to get one of those stickers that said I voted.
Right?
There you go.
So I can show it off the one time I do it in my life. I'm just going to touch on a couple categories and we can guess at the winners. There's 29 categories.
That's
so
crazy.
Insane.
That's number one, it's too many. If I
Yeah.
can say
I
so
agree.
myself.
I agree.
But I don't think they handle all of them in the show.
No.
And so that's always smart. But
There are several of them that are like off when it's in commercial break
Yes.
or whatever. They just kind of.
I can't imagine esports coach being a big draw.
I know. So weird that's like, that's like Christian jazz album of the year where they're like, well, we're going to do this off air.
Christian death metal band.
Jazz album of the year. That's amazing.
Exactly. It's like, how is this Christian? There's no words.
Oh, so funny. That's really good, Gabe. That was really good.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
I'm so glad you like that, Ed. It's my life's
Okay,
work
it's
to
just
make you laugh.
you get it again, Phil Driscoll.
That's right.
You get it again. He's the only one in the category.
Exactly.
Oh, that's awesome. Phil
Yeah.
Driscoll. That's so good.
All right. Multiplayer game of the year. The nominees are Apex, Borderlands 3, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Tetris 99, and Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
Ooh.
Who do you guys think's winning it? Ed?
Apex. Oh, sorry.
No, go first, Chris.
Apex
Ed?
should win.
Yeah, it's going to be Apex.
Yeah.
Really? Tim?
Yeah.
Apex 2?
I want Borderlands, but it's going to be Apex.
Man, it's some of these categories are tough for me because what's interesting about the Game Awards is that some of these heavy hitters come back year after year. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see Overwatch in categories again. We'll see Fortnite in categories again. We'll see Apex in categories again. And so, Apex is his first year for Apex, but you know what I'm saying? We'll see it again next year probably because, the ongoing game categories. So it's a toss up. I want Apex to win because it's a new IP. We didn't even know it was coming and it's freaking wreck shop. But Call of Duty, sometimes people just vote off name recognition. You know what I mean?
That's true. And because it's the internet and they have to do justice, I think that's why Borderlands won't win because people still are mad at the guy from Gearbox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, here you go. There you go. All right. So, ongoing game. This is one that gets tricky too.
Ooh.
Apex, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, or Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. It's got to be Fortnite, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking Fortnite.
Wow.
I voted for Apex, but I think it's going to be Fortnite.
Yeah.
Chris?
Probably. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
No.
Probably.
Yeah. All right, action adventure game. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Borderlands 3, Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. It was so awesome to see Sekiro getting some love.
This will be Borderlands.
I think that should be Borderlands.
You think? I think Zelda's going to take it.
No.
Really?
Just because of who's voting.
No, it's true.
I don't know. Was Control? So Control is bringing down like a bunch of nominees. Was it not that good a game though?
I agree with Control's technical nominations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As the game itself, I don't know if I would have voted it the best. I don't know if I would have put it in the category with these games.
And does Death Stranding feel action adventure?
No.
Not yet.
I wouldn't think it doesn't really look action adventure to me.
Adventure, maybe, but not action.
Adventure.
Yeah.
Adventure.
Okay, here we go. Just two more. Just action game, which I think is silly. That they
No
have an
adventure.
action game and action adventure game.
Yep.
Yeah,
zero.
that's so weird.
Apex, which I guess is an action game. Astral Chain, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Devil May Cry 5, Gears 5, and Metro Exodus.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Ed, what do you think? I know, man, right?
Man, it might be Call of Duty on this one. I'm just trying to think of who has the bigger fan base that's going to be voting on these.
I know,
Yeah,
Call of Duty or Apex.
I think it will be Call of Duty, but I honestly feel like it should go to Gears. Almost, if nothing else, just to satiate that fandom because...
Yeah.
And not that it's not deserving, I don't mean, but it's like
Yeah.
they didn't get many nominations for Gears stuff. So it's like this could be, it's like you did for this one. So
And
give
Gears
it.
5 looks amazing. Ed, did you play a little bit of it, right?
Yeah, man.
And
such a good game.
it is?
Loved it. Yes.
But it's only one console.
Exactly.
That's the problem. Same with Astral Chain. I voted Astral Chain, actually. Because I love it, but it's just the Switch. There's no way it's going to win. Gears is just the
I don't
Xbox.
feel like that matters because I mean the
When it comes to
audience
voting?
vote, but the audience vote is a very small portion of the actual vote. The
Of
most of the
course.
voting comes from
The 30 or 80 people
Yeah,
that they
if you have like
choose.
30 million people that vote for
Oh,
Astral Chain,
gotcha.
that's still like a third of the vote or less. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like so.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about that.
What you're saying
I'm
is the voting on here doesn't actually matter.
not really. No,
Yeah, well,
it's
that's-
not going to really sway something if all of the people who are actually voting that are in the industry most of them have voted for Call of Duty. You could have every person in the audience vote for Astral Chain, so to speak, and it's not going to matter.
Not going to move it.
I didn't realize it was that small of an impact.
Yeah, it's pretty small.
I knew that they had their little group of people that really voted, and I didn't know how. Yeah, same as Ed. I didn't know how little the people's vote mattered.
I believe there are a few categories where it weighs more, but for the most part, for the big stuff, it's a very small blip.
Yeah, like
as I understand it.
I would think esports coach of the year and teams of the year. Like that's got to be. That seems. I feel like that should be by popular opinion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, game of the year. Here it is. Control, which I was super surprised to see in this category.
Yeah.
Death Stranding, which just got here. Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Smash Brothers Ultimate, and The Outer Worlds. I didn't play Outer Worlds. I really want to, though. Ed, I know you played it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would have thought of it as game of the year. I think it's going to be Smash Brothers.
That's what I voted for. I voted Smash Brothers.
No, I'm going Death Stranding. I think everyone's on the Kojima train, and I don't think they're getting off anytime soon.
Could happen
Yep.
if they get to the game of the year part of the game by the time the
That's
Right.
Game Awards
If it
happen.
actually ends by the awards, yes, then
That one's been so split by people. Like, they either love it or hate it. And I feel like everyone loved Smash Brothers. I don't know.
But everybody loves Kojima.
that's the thing.
And
Yeah.
I feel like they would give it.
You look on the Twitter feed nowadays, everything's blown, especially right during release. Like everything was Kojima this, Kojima.
and Jeff Keighley loves Kojima.
Yes,
So
exactly.
you think it'd be a vote
Yeah, but
for
he doesn't
Kojima
vote.
more than the game itself?
Yes, I think so.
Oh no, Chris, I'm not saying that he would vote, but I'm just saying
But I'm just in case for those who may not know, he doesn't have a vote in it. He just hosts it, and
which is ridiculous. Why doesn't he vote? He should vote. He should at least go on the
probably
website.
because of reasons like this. Like he's in one of the games that's nominated. So-
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He's
Or
too
has a
busy doing
cameo, so to
everything
speak.
else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To keep his impartiality. So to
Yeah.
speak.
I just think
Well
the Kojima name, I could see them giving it to him because of all that he's gone through.
Yep.
And I mean, if it is a masterpiece, You know, if it's like technically
Yeah.
looks good, voice acting's good, story's intriguing. But I see what Chris is, or which Ed would, you know, it's not, nobody likes this game. Either you love it or you hate it, it seems like. So yeah, we'll see. I'd love Smash to get it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I thought this was crazy when I started reading all these lists of all these things. I was like, they're basically just making this, or not, they're just setting it up for Death Stranding to win almost everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing in Game of the Year, in my opinion, that even potentially could take it from Death Stranding is Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any of these other games has a shot in the world.
I didn't think so either.
Star Wars isn't even there kind of makes me, which again, I know it released late, but it only released a week after, or 2 weeks maybe after Death Stranding. So it's like, and now granted, I know review people got it way early, but they also got Star Wars way early. So I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Like if that was on there, because so many people gave it such good reviews and everything, I would have thought it would have been in the running. The fact that it's not, it's like they're just setting this up for Death Stranding to win almost everything.
You know, that's how we
That
felt
it's
a couple
nominated
years
in.
ago. I forget which game it was. Oh, Red
Red
Dead.
Dead.
But then Red Dead didn't win everything.
Yeah, but I feel like Red Dead that year, Red Dead had, whether, you know, yes, there was debate and everything like that, but a lot of people thought, well, it could go to God of War. Like God of War was a real contender against it. Like outside of Smash Brothers just being super popular, like I don't think any of these games, it's like none of them had the name. This isn't a fair statement, but it's like, I just feel like none of these had the hype surrounding a Kojima game. Whether you like it or not,
totally.
just that is an event in
Totally.
gaming.
Totally.
And so I was like, and I was kind of thinking about it coming in. I was like, well, what can really go against it? And the only thing I really thought would be maybe Star Wars because so many people are really enjoying it. And it's not even nominated.
For
It's
anything,
like, man,
right?
this is, no, I don't think it's nominated for anything. I just found this very strange that Death Stranding, to me, seems like the clear and obvious choice. Not from a because I love the game kind of thing, but it's just from a hype standpoint. I'm not even sure that it's deserving of it.
I'm the one saying it too, and I've not even played it. You know what I'm saying? I've only watched it, and I would say Death Stranding would be the winner.
I could see Smash Brothers take it. But
it's just
I
Kojima,
can't. I
man.
do not. I would be shocked if Control, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, or Outer Worlds wins Game of the Year.
Those are gonna
It's
go.
not even a shot.
Nah.
No,
Nope.
for sure.
That's insane to me.
All right, Edward,
Yes, word.
round this thing off for us.
Over on YouTube, brand new on the Married to the Games YouTube site, we've got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order Parts 1 and 2. You can see medium mode and baby mode, and you can see the difference there.
Yeah.
And also new this week on Game Pass, Age of Wonders Planetfall, Rage 2, Tracks, the train set game, the Talos Principle, Remnant from the Ashes, and the Lego Ninjago movie video game.
Oh, wow. I'm telling you, they're coming with it, man.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, that is dwarfing PS Plus free games.
Oh,
Each
yeah.
month.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Not even close. Thanks, Edward.
You betcha.
All right, you guys. I need you. Does everybody have a seatbelt?
No, here we go. Strap in.
I need you to buckle up.
All right.
All right,
Buckle in.
look, y'all.
Okay.
No, don't start, Chris.
Loud noises.
Every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was a little different. And this is why we did this, because I love the back and forth of it, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
We asked you guys, what unpopular opinion do you have in gaming? Oh, hey, y'all came with it, boy.
Bring the heat. Let's go.
Start. Chris is mad already. I even started up. I'll start over on Facebook.
Okay.
Spencer Stapleton. The new Tomb Raider games are boring and have weak stories. All right.
Agreed. On some levels, yes.
Yes, that's not unpopular around here.
That's a softball. That's a nice.
I'm starting easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Mike Peacock, or Pico when he's feeling fancy. Fortnite is garbage. It's the hemorrhoid on the rear of real gamers.
Agreed.
That's amazing.
Hemorrhoid. That's what.
Hemorrhoid.
All right. Lim Phil, y'all. Here's another softball for y'all. Every beautiful game needs a photo mode. Some friends who will remain nameless give me a hard time about my passion, but I love them anyway. All right, that's the last one.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Y'all ready to go?
I got my gloves laced.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Tim Paulin. The Xbox One controller is miles better than the DualShock 4.
What?
And
miles better. Scott Bors. The Uncharted series is a jack of all trades, master of none. The gunplay is bad. That's true. The puzzles are horrible. They're knocking on the door of the truth. And the story isn't that great.
Which I'm sorry, I missed the game name.
Uncharted.
The Uncharted series. Since I will be banned, have a good Thanksgiving, guys. I'll see you later after I serve my time. Robert Darrell Good Jr.
Oh, yeah.
The original GoldenEye was boring.
I never played it, so I can't speak to that.
Yeah, I can't speak to that either.
Mark II over on Twitter. No offense to the fans, but the original Sonic games are not good, and the controls were loose and just bad, in my opinion.
Ooh.
Thank you for the safe space to share this opinion.
Nice.
Super listener Chad, quick scoping in Call of Duty is not a skill. If I can buy a controller that has it pre-programmed as a hotkey, it's a mechanic of the game, not a learned skill. It's a glitch that has been abused for way too long, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Oh, man. All right. Eric Baker at Lombax Whisperer. The Last of Us is not a good game.
What? Continue, Eric Baker. Explain yourself.
You got some splaining to do.
Lucy? Sinister Pink.
Oh, wait, there's no more to that?
That's it? He just left it at that?
That's it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, well, there's the door.
Okay.
I might get destroyed for this, but I believe the Legend of Zelda franchise is overrated. Sorry, Zelda lovers.
Hey.
Oh, man.
How about a hug, man?
Yeah,
I'll give you
I'm
a
okay
hug
with
for
that.
Jacob Hammond at Real Big Kong. I don't care for Life is Strange. I find them boring.
Ooh, how about a hug for you, too?
I'd rather play a game than watch one, which Jared Orr replies with, I agree. Same goes for all the Telltale games. Oh, man. Shoot. All right. Here we go. We're still moving along.
Okay.
Keep it going. It's all right.
Jared, you had me, and then you lost me.
Just keep moving.
You had me. Then
Just keep moving.
All right. Over on Discord. Lord Zukor. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Tilt controls are the true and holy way to play Mario Kart.
Oh,
What? Wow.
Out.
That explains why you're not good at Mario
you
Kart.
in the name of Jesus. What in the world?
That is someone going through life totally fine with 6th place.
Exactly.
There's no way you've ever seen a first.
Wow.
You are not on that podium, sir.
Wow. Never see the podium.
Calm Fury. Nintendo games get a 20-point bump in their open critic scores because they're Nintendo games.
I mean, I almost feel like that's knocking on the door of being a fact.
Yeah, right? I'm with you, Chris.
I mean, there's so much evidence for that.
Yep. That's kind of fair.
I'm just saying.
That's kind of fair.
All right,
I'm not
last
saying
one.
a lot of them don't deserve it, but
Last one because I've taken shots at a lot of other people. Here's the one taken at me. Skinny Matt. Final Fantasy VII is one of the worst Final Fantasy games ever made.
Ouch.
Okay.
Can't wait to play it.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I got it, man. I love this though. We need more like questions like, hey, let's just
the fact that
tee
it's,
off anybody we want to now.
the fact that it's safe here is why it works.
Of course. That's
if
what
this
I
was
love.
just the regular open internet,
No,
I wouldn't
no, no,
encourage
no.
this kind of talk in the way it's said. Because these were very just blatantly said things. And listen, there's a lot of, I wish I could read all of them. There's a lot of them, y'all.
Yes,
Save
there
this
really
for
are.
next week then.
At our, Safe Space Weekend.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. So thank you guys for the answers. Chris,
He said begrudgingly.
I know you had some feelings about things. Is there anything
Y'all
you
need
want
to
to
go to
say?
church. Y'all need to go to church.
That ain't even Christian. That ain't even Christian.
Y'all lucky Gabe put stipulations on this because I want to make a whole new podcast. It's called Debate Chris.
Let's do it.
Let's chat.
Married to the debate. Let's go.
I said it last week or the week before, just about how like I have certain people I'll trust with reviews. I don't read reviews.
Yes.
And I have certain people that even more people now that I know to never trust. You're going in my Excel spreadsheet of never take a recommendation from this person.
That was great, though.
Man.
I love, because our community is so mature that we can do this kind of stuff, and it's more in jest than anything else. But I love this, man. Let's do more.
I
of
love
this.
it too.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
We'll do it again next year at some point.
Oh, it's great.
Because I love hearing, because there is, I mean, that's why we called it unpopular opinions. Like, there's going to be people that hate things we love, which I can't even understand.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you hate that? It was amazing. And people are
Yeah.
like, no, it wasn't. But then that's how I feel about catfish. Like, there's no way
Same
I'm eating
here.
that. And some people think it's delicious,
Exactly.
which
Ugh, no,
doesn't
it's
make
not.
any sense. It's ugly, number one. Like, at least
It's
I
a
eat
bottom
burgers.
feeder, too.
Have you seen a cow? Cows are adorable.
And delicious.
Oh, man. Thank you guys so much. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games. I'm worn out. Like, my insides
man.
are worn out. Trying to read those straight takes. I should get. Where's my Oscar at?
Chris is gonna have serious road rage getting into
He's
work
having
right
diarrhea on his way to work. Then he's gonna walk in there and be like, "Hey, Chris." He'd be like, "You know what? Not today, guys.
now. That's right. Not today.
I can't.
Not today.
I
Satan.
went through some foolishness this morning." Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Of course, marriedtothegames.com. It's a great time to come get a Christmas gift for your loved ones. We've got sweaters, stickers, shirts. Sweaters, stickers, shirts, and hoodies. Okay. Like Ed said, youtube.com/married to the games. I already mentioned Extra Life. Please come join up the team. We can get to this $10,000 mark on Patreon, patreon.com/MTTG. If you'd like to drop $1 in the tip jar, we'd appreciate it. And Chris McCracken.
Rate us on iTunes because not today. No. not,
Yes, Chris.
not today.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Don't hurt me.
You hurt. You cut me deep.
You cut me deep, Shrek.
Cut me deep, Shrek. Cut me real deep. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, let's get into some questions.
Listen, I know some of us have to go, so I'm gonna whittle it down to 3, and I'll save the rest for next week. I did want to say on email, Adam Paith emailed us. He said, "Guys, my stream is coming up this weekend. If I end up one of the top 3 for the team, I will not be accepting the prize, but would like to randomly give it to one of our other Extra Life team members."
Sick.
Which is very
Nice.
We'll
generous.
spin the wheel, baby. We'll spin the wheel.
That's right. If I can manage to get my goal of $2,500 by the end of my stream, I have committed to dyeing my beard blue.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
Adam. Put it on the line, baby.
For the kids, Adam. So Adam, definitely, man. We'll check in with
Very
you this
nice.
weekend, and let's get that
Nice.
goal raised, and let's get that beard nice and blue.
That
That'd
would
be
be
really great.
amazing. I think he's already at 1,000, by the way, or like
Oh, that's
13 or
amazing.
1,400. That's before
awesome.
he even, he's not even done he's not even finished. So
Hey, we got some new listeners. I want to give them some love with the questions on Facebook. Cody Robinson. Hey, guys, new listener here. Heard about you from Blessing on Kind of Funny.
Oh, that's
it out.
awesome.
big us, bless.
Nice.
What up, nephew?
That's right. So I'm a dad of a 2-year-old with another due in March.
Oh,
my
God,
wife.
God bless you.
I know, exactly. My wife is super supportive of my gaming, but in order to get things done around the house after we get off work and spend time with the fam, the only time I get to game is on the weekends after everyone's asleep.
Yeah.
This usually means I'll cram in as much as possible from like 11 to 4 or 5 a.m.
Yep.
But I find I'm dragging during the week because of it. How do you guys find time to game as much as you do and still have time for life's responsibilities? Love the show and keep up the great work. God bless. Cody, thank you so much for joining.
Congratulations.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for showing
Yeah,
up.
man.
And
Good to see you.
And congrats.
Welcome.
And just go take a nap right now, man. 2-year-old with another one on the way in March.
Yeah. I know. I lived that life for a minute, boy. My last two came back to back.
Yep.
So this podcast, if you're a new listener, you might not know, we are recording it. We started recording this one at 5:15 in the morning.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's one way. Is that you just, like Tim does here. Tim gets up before his family's up and he plays early in the morning. And you know what I've found, actually? I'm better usually this first half of the day when I get up this early. Because I'm up and I'm ready for the kids when I walk in there from doing the podcast this early. Chris and Ed don't have children, but they do have responsibilities. Mm-hmm. But both their wives like video games.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So they get to play when their wives are playing.
Yeah, that certainly helps.
Also, if you don't know, Ed streams every day from about 12 o'clock Central to going about 4 to 5 o'clock Central. So please check in on him, twitch.tv/Ed Placencia. It's such a great time. But I think you've got your priorities right, number one. Video games can't come before family. But there is a way to do it. And I think with every different season of your child, and tell me if I'm wrong with this, Tim, you'll find different times to game. Like like when I had just a newborn, then you put the bottle in her mouth and I tilted my arm up and I just played while I was feeding, Amara some formula or some, whatever we were doing at the time. And then that moves because they start sleeping through the night, and then, they start taking naps during the day. And so you just kind of figure out different little times to get in there while still taking care of, the house and your wife and everything like that. So
Yeah.
I love that, man. Yeah, it's just that balancing act. And you sound a lot like me too. So, man, I get up an hour earlier just because I want a game, and that's my gaming time. And yeah, on the weekend, sometimes I'll try and get some nights in. But yeah, man, if you're doing it till 4 or 5 and then you're up and groggy, that's no fun either.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's awesome. Thank you. Also on Facebook, we haven't heard from him in a while. Fonzie Zo Maldonado. Have you ever had a problem with your network provider and they just give you the runaround? I'm currently going through this. I was assured a call 2 days ago after spending an hour and a half on the phone. Never got a call back. So today I called. It seems my modem is just crapping out from what they tell me. Finally got a tech to come over tomorrow while I'm at work, so I will have to leave just to meet them at home. Have any of you ever had a similar situation? By the way, love the podcast. Keep doing what you do. Thank you, Fonzie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that stuff, man. It's the worst. I kind of have an advantage because I don't have to go to a workspace anywhere. I can just stay at home. So if a tech has to come, I'm like, fine, cool. I'll just stay and work from home. But that's the one thing that I can't stand just with it's utility companies and network providers is the windows. Like, we'll be there between 8 a.m. and Christmas. It's like, come on, let's give us a better time frame. I mean, my pest guy's like, I'll be there between 8 and 10, and normally he's there at 8. That's a better window, but not like 8 to 4 or anything like that.
That's too big a window.
So frustrating.
Yeah. I've not really had that runaround. I mean, yeah, sure, internet goes down, every once in a blue or whatever, and but I think I've only had to have a tech come out maybe twice or 3 times in the last 10 years that I can remember. So I barely have to have that. So we haven't struggled with that too much. Chris, what about you?
I haven't had to deal with it much either. When we moved to the house that we're in right now, we had them come put internet in, which is one of the very first things that we did. And it worked great for a day, and then it was out.
Really?
So I contacted them, and it ended up, they had to do, it was some weird situation. It took them about a week to whittle down where the heck it was. It was down the road where like the box connects to whatever.
Yep.
And they found out. And then ever since then, it's been pretty much fine. But that's the only time I've ever had to deal with something. And yeah, it was a bummer, but it's like, if that's the one time it's going to happen, I'm all right with it being right at the very beginning. And not all the time, or
and especially if it gets fixed, because that's the thing. I had when we moved here, the same thing. There was like a pod down the street that had like some bad fuse or whatever, and the techs finally figured it out. But once we did, done, great, awesome.
Yeah. Ed.
Yeah, I've been a Comcast customer before.
Yeah.
Oh man, did you really struggle with that when you had Comcast?
Dude, every city I've lived in where I had it was a struggle.
It's been so amazing for me. That's so funny.
Yeah, me
I
too,
know.
man. I have barely had any problems with Comcast.
Don't move to East Nashville.
Well, yeah.
No.
Well, also when I try to get stabbed.
Well, yeah, that would be nice.
I'm just joking.
With a guy with a handlebar mustache.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Okay, so really quick, I stole this question from somebody on Twitter. I saw it and I thought it was hilarious. Their name is Chikorita Cheese at Chikorita Cheese.
Love it.
Nice.
So this is what we're gonna do. I'm adding one thing to it. It's describe one of your favorite video games as badly as possible, and then we need to guess what it is.
That's
wow.
amazing.
Oh, jeez.
So he just has describe your favorite video game as badly as possible, but I just think it'd be fun. And it doesn't have to be your favorite, but like one of your favorites, describe it as poorly as possible, and then we're gonna try to guess what game it is. Chris, you go first.
Oh, jeez.
It doesn't have to be your favorite, but just, what
Metal
else-
Gear Solid.
okay.
Next.
Your character
Yes.
is moving about floatily
All right.
and daintily
Yes.
as you stare at the pretty
Yes.
and
Journey.
yes, dang it. I'm not very good at this on the fly.
Ooh.
I
I
could
know.
take me like 20 minutes to come up with this thinking about it.
That's tough. That's
awesome.
tough. We could do some more. We'll put them on Twitter later after we get to
Okay.
think about it, because I know it's a hard one. I almost texted you guys early and I just forgot because we started earlier this morning. Tim, can you come up with one?
Guy, weird accent, who somehow gets to parkour around everywhere.
Obviously, Assassin's Creed.
There you go.
Ed,
It's going to be like a space adventure, but you know what? You write the story and make all the choices.
Could be a space adventure, but you make all the Borderlands.
Tales from the Borderlands.
Tales from the Borderlands.
Nice.
I thought it was either that one or it was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Just because I thought he might try to throw us off the scent.
Yeah. I'm gonna say let's see. You loved him.
Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I know, right? You loved him growing up, and he was always trying to save her, but now he punches her in the face.
Wow.
It's one of those Mario games, right?
It'll be Smash Brothers, yeah.
Okay.
That was good, Gabe. I like that.
That's amazing.
So, you guys, this is what I want you guys to do, and I'm gonna ask Chris, Ed, and Tim to not look at the answers.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
please describe your one of your favorite games poorly, and then put the name of the game on there, and so I can present them to these three, and they can try to guess as well. And I think it'll be really fun next week.
Okay.
That's perfect.
I like that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I like it.
That's awesome.
For our non-patrons, we have to go ahead and say Happy Thanksgiving. No, right? It's not next week. It's the week after, right?
Yes.
Thanksgiving's next Thursday.
Oh, it is next Thursday.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So for our non-patrons that won't get this show on Thanksgiving or before next week, Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, gobble gobble.
And guess what? We're thankful for you.
Yes.
And that's going to be the question of the week next week is what you're thankful for. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That's Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games. And we are up out this thing. Bang!